Dun. Good evening. Almost was about to say good morning. What's up, everybody? Welcome to what is this? The third one of these we've done? Third, fourth? OTC After Dark. Girth Brooks, non-refundable. What's up? What's up? I seen we had Jane Hammond lurking about earlier. Enzo lurking around in the clouds there somewhere.
Yeah, it makes me feel like Zeus. I'm kind of feeling it. I'm kind of feeling the vibe right now.
He's vibing. He's vibing,
You know,
folks.
I got the tits out. I'm torqued up like a 4x4. Who's asking?
Yeah, why not?
We
When in
got the.
Rome.
We definitely got the better looking half in the chat for sure right now. We got Miss Jane Hammond in the. Ooh. We got Caesar, non-refundable. Oh yeah, beautiful people. Beautiful people.
Yes.
I think we discriminate. No ugly people, because I really haven't seen too many of our family members that are just awful looking. I mean, this guy Arctic Fox. Have you seen this guy? Jesus Christ,
I did. I told you.
he's looking like
looks like
he's looking like a
he's a Marvel superhero.
he's looking like $1 million portfolio wrapped in bacon, son. I don't understand. That's how they make people up there. Just cut out of just rock. I mean, he's got a dope wife too. She seems really sweet.
Yes, they are both amazing people. Are they back? Are they back in on this side of the
I don't
pond?
know, dude. They were in the Louvre the other day looking at the help me out here, the Mona Lisa, and then he sent something earlier today which awfully looked French as shit. So I gotta be honest with you, I don't think he's over on the other side of the pond, but he's in good hands. He's over. Heard he's only a stone throw away.
Nice.
We could even break Kieran out. We could fly the helicopter. We could get the Blackhawks out. Send Kieran's drunk ass out there, find him,
Yes.
scare him a little
Yeah.
bit, probably. Well, how's your how's your day?
Fantastic. What do you mean?
How'd you like that? How'd you like that market?
I like to
Believable?
use. But I like to use the Dennis Green. It was what we thought it was.
Oh, we are who we thought they were. I like that.
I mean,
Playoffs.
it
Playoffs.
flipped a little bit there at the end of the day and still finished pretty uneventfully. But I think the Fed talk ramps up tomorrow. I think.
Tell me that we don't go to 420 and then back down to 408 when Wednesday comes out.
What brings us back down though? I don't see. Like I said, I
don't know. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing that I could see.
I think any way you slice it, unless the only thing I could see him doing that has a negative effect is dropping another rate hike and saying there's more pain to come. Well, I don't see him doing that. I see him, even if they do another hike, he's gonna at least say we're gonna pause for a while. We're gonna have a cooling off period. Let this stuff kind of work its way through the system. What else can he do?
I mean, you can push a federal cryptocurrency for the low price of $9.99.54.
They're doing that, so that's essentially my point. Is I think they're just buying their time on that. So they have the soft rollout of it already. Not cryptocurrency as far as Fed pay.
You got to think though, it would be catastrophic if you told me earlier this fucking year. Now I'm just letting you know. If you would have told me. Now let's just do the mine experience. If you would have told me at the beginning of this year, even just the beginning of this year, fuck last year, that was already a whirlwind. But this year we're gonna lose the petrodollar. I need you to realize we have lost the petrodollar for the first time since it left gold, correct?
Well, we haven't officially lost it, but
Oh, come on now.
last month the I guess the flow of goods, the currency was more goods were traded coming in and out of China in the yuan than in U.S., and that's the first time that's ever happened. And like I said, you have more countries signing up for BRICS. You know, it's
I think that
Hi, China. Sabrina says, "What's up, Bree?
by China.
How did your guys' China play work out today? Girth, you were in it too, weren't you? What was it? Hong Kong limousine and makeup?
Bro,
HLM?
yeah, it was some long dong shit. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. HLG.
HLG, milady, good after late or good evening, man. Got me all tongue twisted.
I mean,
Non-refundable.
that's royalty,
Hey,
baby. That's royalty right there.
Yeah.
By the way, congratulations on your koi pond. Namaste.
Oh, namaste, konnichiwa, milady.
Jesus Christ.
Asshole.
Asshole. Nice to meet you. Now that we've thoroughly offended everybody, buddy.
Yeah, well, we're gonna keep it simple tonight. I don't got anything too controversial. Maybe a little bit.
I'm
what
echoing
I
again.
want to talk about is you know, the corporatization of America in every sense, and I think Tucker's just the latest example. But I think he's we always talk about money being the prime objective. Now you look at a situation like Tucker. You had the same thing with Phil Donahue in the what was that? The early 2000s. Phil Donahue opposed the Iraq War, I believe it was.
I thought Phil Donahue was a basketball player.
No, he hosted a talk show. He was he was like the original Jerry Springer before Jerry Springer, and then he moved into like Real News and
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about.
oh, dude, he got canceled, and he was left leaning, so it's not just political, and it's not just one side or the other, and it's we're gonna listen to a couple things that Tucker said over you know, a little bit of time to see if that played into him being outed. And
what are you talking about? Did it have anything to do? That man said some shit. I have never ever gone and I'm echoing. Actually listened to Tucker until recently, and yeah, I'm pretty positive you can nail down what it was.
Well, there's a couple different things, and I think the one comparison is to that of Phil Donahue. Now, one talking point would be that he's just parroting Russian propaganda or whatever, and one side could be this that he does have an anti-war stance. And we're gonna play this one clip. This was from a podcast he was on a couple of weeks ago.
Well, what makes you pro? Well, here, that's the thing that I need to like kind of.
I'm not pro Tucker or
I'm not. I'm trying to figure out what pro Russian, pro whatever. Like I understand it's for, but like
I think pretty much anything that goes against the official narrative. You know, anything that isn't just a black and white Putin's horrible. We need to support Zelensky. Pretty much, really anybody in the media that doesn't just echo that gets accused of Russian propaganda. Now, whether Tucker has pushed Russian talking points or not, that's not for me to decide. But
well, who's to say if they're Russian or who the fuck cares? Like sometimes news is legitimate news is something that can be corroborated by several different parties, but what makes it Russian is the question, because you can go and say
it's just an easy out against
right.
You
You're
know,
calling
because
somebody quite literally a tyrant.
yeah, but
Correct?
the same thing was used with anybody that any questioning of the vaccines, anything like that. That became quickly a right wing conspiracy.
It's not
You know,
tyrant. That's not the word I was looking for. You're calling somebody basically Judas, somebody going behind your back and
yeah, they're calling him a traitor. They're calling him,
right.
they're calling him, as far as honor to your country, pretty much the worst thing you could possibly be insinuated as. And that's where journalism's just gone out the window, and that's kind of the point of this discussion too, is corporatism goes in at every level. So you have let's just look real quick here. This is money spent in and this is just the money that's reported. So the healthcare field, $725 million in lobbying in 2022.
Wow,
That is
wait,
just
Woo!
that is just
Woo!
giving politicians money to enact your policies.
One more
Healthcare,
time? Hold on a minute.
725 million.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Million.
Finance, insurance, and real estate, 608 million.
That's working out swimming.
Miscellaneous business, 560 million. Communications and electronics, 541 million. Energy, 360 million. Transportation, 283 million. Other, 282 million.
Hold on a minute.
You know what's funny, and I'm a Second Amendment proponent. Like I'm not a gun freak or anything like that, but I don't see the NRA on this list.
What's very interesting to me about all of that is name the top 5 real quick.
Healthcare.
Oh, transportation 5. From the bottom. Let's go 5. Transportation, Buttigieg.
Yeah, energy and natural resources, communications and electronics. I don't know what miscellaneous business is, but they're giving
miscellaneous business. How about
cartels and whatnot?
No, I'm thinking more of like the shell game between how do we get these people to go and take the I don't know, it's got to be an advertisement thing. Miscellaneous business has to be, it could be anything from black market military deal to
how much of that lobbying do you think is done by everyday people? How much of that is money that, like, yeah, I would like to see this done in the education system, so I'm gonna.
Oh shit. I mean, you have philanthropy that goes and tries to do the best that they can, but they do it for obviously personal gain. But no, I mean, anytime you go and see anybody go and yeah, you see 100,000 here, 100,000 there, maybe, and that's a big fucking win for a community. You know what I mean? But I think that, yeah, you're right. You don't see anybody coming out of the woodwork like billionaire and saying, "Hey, I'm dropping 100,000 on whatever city in the
is if it's just like any other business. If 725 million is being spent to lobby, what are the profits made off the policies that are being enacted off because of that?
Yeah, why are they okay? Yeah, right. So why are so it's basically why are those being right? Well, the first one on there is health. You fucked that up. Just in case you guys were curious, you fucked that up and you paid the most amount of money for it. Now, the second one is natural. What is it?
Second one's finance, insurance, and real estate.
Oh, you guys are doing a bang up job of that. Let me explain something to you. How much? $608 million? Is that what that says?
Yeah.
That was spent on the spy this morning. I mean, there was over 1 million options by like on one strike, 11:30. So you got to think that's a drop in the bucket to imagine to a
Well,
50
yeah,
plus trillion.
it's a drop in the bucket, but when you add all this money up and you see that all this money is just going to
Total
power,
lobbying expenses.
and again, this is what they're reporting. So maybe it's accurate, maybe it's not.
I mean, think about the fact that that's already shithouse right there. Imagine what the real number is. Oh my God, that's
My
bad.
whole life in the media was in the media.
Nelk boys.
Part of.
Shout out to the Nelk boys. Absolute legends there.
All right. So this is just to go full circle with Tucker. And again, this isn't because I'm a Tucker advocate or I think Tucker is the shit, but I think it's when you have the ratings that Tucker had and it's a thin line between money and control and everything else that goes into it. So this is Tucker about a month ago, like I said, on the Full Send podcast.
I've spent my whole life in the media. My dad was in the media. Like, that is a big part of the revelation that's changed my life is the media are part of the control apparatus. Like, there's no, yeah, I know. Cause you're younger and smarter and you're like, yeah. But what if you're me and you spent your whole life in that world and to look around and all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow. Not only are they part of the problem, but I spent most of my life being part of the problem, defending the Iraq war. Like, I actually did that. Can you imagine if you did that?
Well, what do you think? What is one of your biggest regrets in your career?
Oh, defending the Iraq war.
That is it?
Well, I've had a million regrets, not being more skeptical, calling people names when I should have listened to what they were saying. Look, when someone makes a claim, there's only one question that's important at the very beginning, which is the claim true or not? So I say, you committed murder or you rigged the last election. Before you attack me as a crazy person for saying that, maybe you should explain whether you did it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for too long, I participated in the culture where I was like, anyone who thinks outside these pre-prescribed lanes is crazy, is a conspiracy theorist. And I just really regret that. I'm ashamed that I did that. And partly it was age, partly it was the world that I grew up in. So when you look at me and you're like, yeah, of course they're part of the means of control. I'm like, that's obvious to you because you're 28, but I just didn't see it at all. And I'm ashamed of that.
Isn't that what the media tries to do, though?
It's their only purpose.
Right.
They're not here to inform you. Really? Even on the big things that really matter, like the economy and war and COVID and like things that really matter that will affect you. No, their job is not to inform you. They are working for the small group of people who actually run the world. They're their servants. They're their Praetorian Guard. And we should treat them with maximum contempt because they have earned it.
Okay, so who knows if he's bullshitting, if he really did have some kind of revelation and he really was that clueless to the media's function as far as control.
I mean, I don't think so. I literally was that 2 years ago. I mean, more or less than a year ago. I had no idea that you turned on NBC and got something completely different, but also the exact same, just different wording. I never noticed any of that shit. And I wouldn't have noticed that unless...
Well, it's funny that you say... Hold that thought for 1 second. And, hold that thought for just a moment.
Just a bit outside.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our treasure communities.
Paso Lustrous communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We're extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about trouble and trying to irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become
Oh shit. Yo, you guys are stupid as shit. Pause that.
And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 What the fuck did I just... Wait a minute.
You said
No,
you
hold
turn
on.
on different news and you see different stuff, and that's
Right.
showing that sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you see word for word, all these news sources. So, what was that? Let me get the numbers. I think we had over 50 different companies owned roughly 90% of the media 30 years ago or 35 years ago, and now it's 5 companies. Basically, here I got the. Basically, it's yeah.
So wait, you're gonna explain to me.
They get the orders. They're puppets. There's no such thing as journalism anymore. You got the same dipshits just repeating what they're friggin'.
How far away are we from? What is that? Isn't it?
I don't. At the end of all this tonight, I think we're gonna come out of this hopeful, because I think all this shit. I think this is all outdated. I think and I think, like anything else, any other kind of power, I think that what gets the best of them is ego. And again, I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that Tucker Carlson is the end all be all or anything like that. It could have been any figure that was just as popular. If they did the same thing to Anderson Cooper or something like that, I would be saying the exact same thing. I think it's just stupid on their part. Fox killed themselves. Fox is done. Fox News, it's done. So it was less
Fox
about
News
money.
needs the election to come back so that they can go and say Donald Trump and have the Breakfast Club or whatever the hell.
That's what they're hoping for. But real quick, before we get off Tucker, one more clip, and then we'll leave it at that. But this is one other thing that this was in the weeks leading up to him. They still haven't said if they fired him. They still haven't given any kind of official reason. So, all you can do is speculate at this point. But this is Tucker on his own show from a couple weeks ago.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. How powerful exactly are the big pharmaceutical companies in this country? Well, that's a big question. There are a lot of ways to measure it, but here are a few ways you can measure it. In this country, big pharma can advertise its drugs directly to consumers. And that's a little strange if you think about it, since consumers don't prescribe drugs, doctors do. So why are the drugs being advertised directly to consumers? That's allowed in only one other country on the planet, but it's allowed here. So it may not surprise you that in this country, drug companies spend more on lobbying the Congress than any other industry, a lot more than any other industry. And they don't do it by accident. They do it because it pays off. In a deal like this, a pretty remarkable deal the drug companies have worked out with politicians. So the government uses your tax dollars to buy billions worth of their products, and then in some cases forces you to use those products. Sometimes those products work, sometimes they don't work. In some cases, those products can injure you. But no matter what happens, there's nothing you can do about it because politicians have given these companies complete immunity. If their products hurt or kill you, You can't sue them. You're not even really allowed to complain about it. That's an incredible deal. Imagine if your company had struck a deal like that with the Congress. You'd probably be a lot richer than you are.
Oh, okay. We'll just walk by that shit. I mean,
well, I mean, was that the final straw? I mean, you look at Project Veritas, you look at James O'Keefe over there. He exposed Pfizer allegedly talking about, that dude that worked for Pfizer that was allegedly doing whatever he was doing, exposed something, and
modifying.
was out of Project Veritas within days.
It's basically like the guy went and took a Ferrari and painted it blue.
Well, and I think
modified tradition.
the biggest point that he makes there isn't, you got to see the big picture. You can't just look at it as a Tucker situation or as in any individual situation. It's it's corporations dictating the flow of information. Now, I showed you about, how Disney, Viacom, we know all the big players that own all the bullshit, but no one's watching it. That's the better thing. So that's why I say I'm hopeful from them being idiots and continuing to push people like Tucker out there, because that's what you need. Whether Tucker's real or not, genuine or not, whatever, he's going to go outside of the mainstream media and he's going to make a career for himself the same way that Megyn Kelly did, the same way that a lot of other people did. And it's going to influence other people to find ways to do that. So it's not going to be an overnight thing where, hey, now all of a sudden we got all these new media outlets. No, but it's another nail in the coffin for mainstream media, in my opinion.
I had never thought of it like that. Why is a drug company advertising to the consumer and not the doctor prescribing the medication?
Exactly.
That never ceased to cross my mind, but it's actually a very accurate question. It's not like a holy shit, there's the nail in the coffin, but it's a very accurate question, basically showing you the imbalance of you're being pushed something instead of being informed.
Yeah, and what's his name? Greg Giraldo. There's a song that they made some of his stand up into where he talks about that, and he talks about, he says everybody's got a disease nowadays. He said you see these commercials, and everybody thinks they have something because they see it, and on the commercials they got absolutely dick all fuck to do with what's wrong with somebody. And that's what he says. He's like, oh, I want that shit. It comes with a hot chick and a puppy.
Right. It's playing on your psychological mainframe where you want the
I mean, it's the only thing that we do it for too. Like you don't see, and someone's going to probably prove me wrong on this, but I don't see them. I don't see commercials except for in Tommy Boy with Big Tom Callahan's auto parts for the working man. I don't see, like when I go to my mechanic, I don't say, hey, you know what? So I'm getting this oil change. I seen this commercial the other day about this new oil. I want to use that shit. Like, I no.
You want to go synthetic?
I take his word. I don't know. He tells me what the hell I want to do because he's the mechanic. I'm not. But yet, if I watch daytime TV, I can go into my doctor like, hey, what's this shit? I want some. You know what I mean? And like,
well, that's the thing that bothers me is
on what basis? Because I seen in the commercial that Jim, who pees too much, all of a sudden took this pill and now he's in pictures and they're having great time. You know what I mean?
With anal seepage.
I mean, listen to the side effects, and that's where AI is terrifying. That's why and you're not hearing much talk about it in the biotech sector, and we're gonna see some shit hit. We're gonna see some 2, 3, 4 Xers, in biotech in the next 6 months.
Yeah, redoing the shit that they just did.
Yeah, no, I guarantee.
I'm echoing.
What it is it's they're just gonna be ramping up telemedicine, treating symptoms, not treating anything, pushing out, whether it's whatever. Which I guess could bring us right into the next point. Some of you guys might leave for this, but just just showing just to kind of take it back, just like 9/11, never forget. I think 2020 through 2022 or something. I think
you're talking about when our government literally fucking bombed.
Well,
and
I'm just saying that the media is sometimes dishonest, and we have to get to the bottom of who's pulling the strings on it. And when you see, so let's play this first part. We'll play this one first.
It's gonna piss me off. I got a feeling.
Probably get us kicked off YouTube, but
hey, send it.
U, mevrouw Small, heb ik de volgende vraag waar ik een duidelijk antwoord op wil. And I will speak in English so there are no misunderstandings. Clearly. Was the Pfizer COVID vaccine tested on stopping the transmission of the virus before it entered the market? If not, please say it clearly. If yes, are you willing to share the data with this committee? And I really want a straight answer, yes or no, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Regarding the question around, did we know about stopping immunization before it's entered the market? No.
Get the fuck out of here.
Really move at the speed of science to really understand what is taking place in the market.
This is scandalous.
Okay, so notice that she says
scandalous. That's fucking egregious.
Market. But my point of playing that is that was European Parliament. That was a Pfizer representative. Basically, I think I still got to say allegedly admitting to.
Where's the Pfizer
representative? That was the Pfizer representative, the lady.
Mary Poppins? They just broke out of fucking the gym class?
Yeah, that was her response, was that they'd never tested for transmission.
That wasn't even a fucking question, first of all.
Well, no, that was the question was, did they do any testing on the transmission? Yeah, prior to it being released on the transmission. Now, they didn't test on transmission. Now, had they come out and said that, like, listen, we don't have time, we got to rush something. Okay, that's a different conversation.
Excuse me. No, fuck no, it's not.
This
what
is
the wait, no. Pause.
Watch this and we'll talk about it. That was what happened in Parliament. This is what we were being told.
Why is the president still referring to this as a pandemic of the unvaccinated?
You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations. The vaccine can stop the spread of these diseases. No excuse for anyone being unvaccinated. This continues to be a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
This is really becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated. And that means getting vaccinated, you can save yourself.
These vaccines are highly, highly effective. When people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
Fully vaccinated people are at a very, very low risk of getting COVID-19.
Our data from the CDC today suggests, that vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick, and that it's not just in the clinical trials, but it's also in real-world data.
What's your take on the next steps for COVID? What should the country be doing right now?
Getting vaccinated.
And for those who aren't?
They've got a problem. We have the capacity to control it.
They got a problem.
So you get the point. And it's not it's not even about the vaccine. It's about them. We don't know. We don't know because our media, our government, it's all bought and paid for. And it's either going to get worse with them silencing anybody that does maybe step out of the line. And now again, maybe there's other reasons why Tucker was let go, but it's tough to say it's just money, because we always look at any kind of corporatism and say that money controls all of it. Well, if it was, how do you balance that? How much money is coming in from one side? You know what I mean? It's not, when you have the number one rated show on all of that time frame. You know what I mean? It's not like he was a slouch, and you've lost, half your viewers in a matter of a week overnight by doing this shit.
Okay, so we went full circle with that. All right, now let's back the fuck up, because now what I have a problem with. Did they really just admit that?
That was a while ago. Yeah, that was like 6 months ago, maybe even longer.
Okay, so
there's countless documents out there. You can read them.
No, I know that, but I'm saying now we're seeing the trickle of admitting real quick. Not a big deal. You guys took something that technically modified your DNA to the point so that you're not even a fucking human being. They call what are they called now? Modified fucking something.
Well, they're kind of in damage control, in my opinion, because of Robert Kennedy's announcement.
No, what do they call people that are vaccinated legally now? They call them a there's a word for it, and it's right on the tip of my tongue, but man, that's gonna bother me. But we're gonna just walk past the fact that our government won't let me go and send you $600 without being up both of our asses farther than we can imagine. But they got the time to go out and hire how many fucking people to do how many countless stupid ass jobs to cut fucking corners with the American public? Are you fucking kidding me? Where the fuck am I? Like, wait a minute. You're trying to tell me right now that we went and I'm not vaxxed, right? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. My question is, can I go sell fucking lemonade on a corner in the middle of New York City without a fucking permit right now?
No.
Do I need FDA approval on that joint? Yeah, but do I need FDA approval on that shit to go and sell it? I need to have proper labeling. It's got to be BMO free and GH. Yo, fuck off. You guys can't even go and shake a fucking vial and do some we have failed here.
Well,
as American people.
But I wouldn't say we failed as American people. I would say we were hoodwinked again. I think the same thing happened right after 9/11. Now, you can look past whoever did 9/11. Let's not even bring that into play, but just look at the Patriot Act. It was drafted as a response to 9/11, but not as a response in the sense of, oh yeah, it wasn't a response in the sense of, okay, we need to prevent this from ever happening again, yada, yada, yada. It was a response to what is everything we've always wanted to be able to take away from citizens that they would never go for. Let's do it now.
Right.
And it's the same type situation.
I think that it's unfortunate that the American public, or just pretty much any public in general, always looks to their government or their higher power to align them or assess them when shit goes astray. And I think that
you gotta look at it this way though too. You gotta look at it historically, in the sense of it was a lot easier to not rely on your government, for that kind of stuff when everybody knew how to fend for themselves. And I'm not saying that that's even attainable. I mean, it's not like we could all just be hunting and gathering food and living off the land right now. Like we've put ourselves in a situation where that's not really possible because we live in cities, things like that. So you do have to a degree, you have to be relying on the government, and it's, in my opinion, unfortunately, in the last 30, 40, 50 years, that reliance has become a lot more comfortable.
Everybody's got their down day.
No, but I don't even fault people. It's always easy to sit and throw rocks, and you can say that people are just being lazy, and we can shout our morals to the rooftops and say, "Well, I wouldn't do that." No, I'm not saying you. I'm not.
That's a general statement. I've seen
what
some
I'm
of
saying is, like, if you're in a situation where you can go work 40 hours a week and absolutely struggle, or you could work 20 hours a week
and
and
get
get a
by.
bunch of stuff on top, a bunch of benefits on top of it from the government. You're not lazy, or you're not anything for doing it. You're
No,
unique to
you're
your situation.
benefiting.
So
Yeah,
we
you're
put up a
playing.
system that don't give people a chance to prosper, but give people enough. And and the other side of it is, with all the bullshit that we buy from China and that we have been accumulating debt over the last 30 years, poverty now is, what, just 2 flat screens in the house, and in last year's iPhone, what I mean? So, like,
It's all relative.
Our priorities are, as a society, are out of whack. And
that's a fucking fact. I mean, the fact that I'm not one of those people that's I think it's called being socialist, where you think that everybody should get equal parts and all that bullshit, right? I'm not that guy, but people are have this misconception that the world is just this very empty place. We have so many fucking resources on this planet that I think people just don't really want to go and do the work for it, or they don't want the convenience. And I think the sad part is that the people that have that mindset are the first people that are going to fail. And if you think for 1 second that, like, somebody won't walk over you to take what you have and continue to move forward if shit breaks down, you're failing. Like, if you think that the government's going to fucking save you here, I'm sorry.
yeah, definitely. You can't look to that. What's up, The
No.
Bachelor? Everyone
What's up, baby?
complains about
Welcome back.
stuff from China. Everyone keeps buying it. Yeah,
Right.
very, very true. And I don't begrudge it, and I'm not saying it's China's fault. I'm just saying, because everything got outsourced, I'm just saying you can live off of
I don't think there's
money.
anything wrong.
No, I'm just saying it made, and it was only the buying stuff from China was just a part of it, as far as living off the government. So I, when I was a kid, if you were on food stamps, it was embarrassing. It was, it was, you were ridiculed for
Right.
it. You had to go.
You were looked down upon. You were made fun of.
And it wasn't. I'm not saying that was right, because trust me, we
there were people struggling a hell of a lot more that didn't have food stamps.
Yeah, but it was, the sense was, it gave you a little bit of motivation. And now I wasn't an adult in these times, so I don't know what it was like as an adult to have to use them or anything like that. But it gave
Bachelor's got a point.
It kept you on your ass to get a job and to get off it, because it wasn't meant to be a lifestyle, and that's kind of what it's become by whoever's fault.
I think that it's all relative. If you're the type of person that's going to take advantage of it, take advantage of it. You're a piece of shit, and you're more than likely not going to go and advance anywhere anyway. So stay on that rung you know, and continue there. I don't give a fuck. I work my ass off, and I would expect to see some kind of progress over that. I don't give a shit if it takes me 2 weeks or 200 years. I'd rather put one foot in front of the other than go fucking backwards. And
yeah, and I don't have any problem with my tax money or whatever going to help.
Oh no, I got a big fucking problem with my tax money going to Ukraine. I'm sorry. It should be going to my son's school or my infrastructure of my city or our state or whatever. You pay state taxes, right? Well, we don't really have one in Florida, but I mean, you pay for things that I shouldn't go and hear when we're on the phone together. One of us go and say, "God damn, almost just took my whole wheel off because of that pothole." Something that should never be said. You shouldn't have infrastructure problems. You shouldn't have. You should not have problems that we continue to have. But we're going to ship our fucking money to God knows fucking where.
But I don't think it's a spending problem. I think we had the money that we have. We have plenty to spend. It's just reckless spending. It's just bloat. It's just by the time
Spending is fucking spending until you realize you got dad's credit card and it just goes and zeroes out at the end of the night. The fuck are you talking? It's literally here you go. The world's over it. Genuinely, that's what I think is what BRICS is the world's finally said, no, I'm done.
You know, our government functions like the stock market. Our government funds stuff based on what it's going to do in the future.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're
its own
going to give
benefit.
this $5 billion of funding to this, and we're going to make up some numbers and throw them at you and tell you how over time we're not even going to have to pay for this. It's going to pay for itself.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is like I've never seen like I've kind of had to start looking at everything as a different perspective, and it's a very, very dark way to look at things. And I like that everybody tries to be positive and optimistic and shit, but hey, like fucking can all that shit. We have literally our leaders of the free world and everybody else's fucking world because we want to go and get involved with God and everybody, right? We have those people injecting children, elderly, and I don't mean to be that fucking guy, but that's a crime. And I'm not the guy that's going to call the cops ever, but I will be the one to stand up and do something if come to like if that comes to fruition. It's sad that you have how many people in that how many people are in the Senate real quick? Anybody got it off the top of their head? 254, something like that? No, that's Senate's lower. The House is 2 something.
Right? Or 100 101 or 100 and then the vice president.
Yeah, I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit.
2 senators from every state, and then Congress people are just House of Representatives. There's like 500 of them, 568 or something.
Right. So, but we so that's even more so. We have 500 plus people of power that have obligations and rights to their governing body that put them in power. Right. Now, not only that, you probably have 10 fuckers behind them that have the checks and balances of whatever research or whatever fucking. Right. You got to think that somebody said, this is fucked up. Hold on a minute. And the thing is that nobody did. Not one person. Not the doctors until it was much too late. Granted, yes, I think that the American people fucked up severely.
And don't forget who put it in motion.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is the government's definitely taking advantage of the gullible people.
It wasn't Joe Biden that rolled the thing out.
What?
It was the guy. As far as the vaccine and shit like that, Trump's the one that rolled it out. Trump's behind Operation Warp Speed. So you can't push And that just shows that's the complete show is who's
Did he
making
get
the
back?
decision. Yeah, as far as I know. I mean, he's the one that pushed it. It came out on his clock.
There's no way he got back. I'll put money on that.
Well, it's hilarious too, because when
as
the
long as the
vaccine
U.S. in conflict, we print money.
And I believe someone else that was in the Democratic primary said that they would never take it because Trump fucking endorsed it, this and that. So you had them like talking vaccine hesitancy, but then the minute Biden got in office, you weren't allowed to even question the thing. You weren't even allowed to talk, and people don't talk about it. Still, people, and I get it's a touchy situation because anybody that took it still doesn't want to hear it, and a lot of people didn't take it are just dicks to people that did. So I can understand why people don't want to have that conversation. The simple fact is, we all got fooled to one degree or another, but the conversations have to happen. And that dude right here, this Al Borla, the Pfizer CEO, yeah, people like him are the ones that need to be held accountable, and they never will. They never will. But again,
I'm more concerned at the fact that we were more concerned about who said it on what side of the fucking aisle, who's fucking president, who pushed it out. It doesn't matter. Like, it genuinely doesn't matter. You
gotta look at pulling the strings, because you
I don't fucking care.
That you don't know whose intentions were what. Like even Biden or Trump, like you don't.
I'll make an assessment for my goddamn self when I see the facts.
Thing is, you don't know what they were being told.
Right.
Yeah, it should be a red flag when a company asks, "Yeah, can we not have to release this data for like 65 years?" Like, that's red flag. And I also understand that in a real emergency situation, decisions are going to have to be made. The thing there was had they just presented it like that, like, listen, we really don't know, but we need to get this out to people that are vulnerable, people that have pre-existing conditions.
That's when you go and say, hey, assholes, you want to come here, we'll compensate you egregiously for your fucking time. Here, go and take a fucking
it's something that hasn't been tested to stop the spread, and you guilt people by telling that, if they don't get it, they're
you mandated. You fucking mandate. What? Yo, we're not gonna walk over that. You mandated this into children. You literally went and changed our biological evolution, like
well, and the bigger picture is to not let it happen again, in a different
way. Happen again. Oh, wait, have you seen the new thing about Joey B going and talking about the second pandemic? Oh, there's going to be another one, he says. Oh, thanks, Joey.
I told you, I still think that they'll. I still think that they'll out him.
Who? Oh, yeah. No. So, how do you think that's going to work? Because
I don't know. Maybe a 25th Amendment. I don't think they'll let him. What'd you do? That's weird.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Very strange. Very strange.
So moving right along with corporate media, I figured we would revisit Homeboy. Just to show that even when stuff's exposed in the media, that the media does by the media. Lost you again, huh? Yeah, that's right. That's right, The Bachelor. And we talk all this AI shit to Bachelor. I guarantee a big function, and I've said this before, kind of in a tinfoil hat way, about
my apologies.
You're good. About Elon when Elon switched the switch on Twitter and kind of opened it back up per se, that the amount of reactions and stuff like that on top of all the metadata that they had already collected, they're gonna know what parts of the game plan worked and what parts didn't. And that's not to say that it has to be something that's pushed out or planned, or it could just be something that's taken advantage of. You never know. You have to think that a lot of what we've seen was a test run for something, though, if you're a tinfoil hatter.
I don't think it's a test run. I think it's already been completed.
Well, what was the end goal?
It was the Thanos glove.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It was literally the Thanos glove in 30 years' time. Poof! 3 pieces of sausage cake.
No, I think the truth of the matter is that these people that are pulling the strings, people, groups, whatever, I don't think that they're as smart as we'd like to give them credit for.
Well, I think it's crazy that people just throw their fucking hands up because you earlier was like, oh, well, we got to give them credit. You don't know what they're being told. Hey, I'm a 30-year-old kid who just found politics about a year and a half ago, right?
Hey, hold on.
Hold on. No.
Oh, no, because let me explain what I mean by that. What I mean by that is that you have to go to the source, or else you get lost in the sauce in the sense of, well, did Trump know? What did Trump know about this? That's why you got to go right to where was Trump?
What if you're thinking that let's just say you're who's that fucking dickhead with the comb over that just got touched on by Elon? No, not Elon. Who was it? The guy with the guns issue. That was actually Tucker Carlson. He went and was talking back and forth on his show against Colorado, the senator from Colorado, douchebag with the fucking hair, about 40-year-old guy.
Oh, you're talking about Jon Stewart talking to him?
No, not Jon Stewart.
You're talking about this guy right here? Not
no,
Tucker,
no. I know who Jon Stewart is. No, the roof breaks to the right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, but I'm talking about the guy that was in an argument. I think he's a senator from Colorado. White, just real privileged looking asshole.
He was arguing with Tucker?
Oh yeah, they were talking about guns and the ability to defend your family and kids should be safe kind of thing. Tucker absolutely just mopped the fucking floor with the guy. It was kind of sad. And even in just a gun right aspect, he went and took the AR-15 discussion and just separated it and the guy fucking folded. I don't know what his name is. But you got to think that you just got Thanos gloved. Bro, there's people becoming magnetic and shit. Like, let's just talk about that. Like, I could literally toss my girlfriend a key, catch, right? Like, a little weird, right? That's the first thing that's weird. But then you start to go and have the other medical professionals, like the coroner and the people that do the autopsies and shit. And then you start to realize, like, we just got fucking Thanos. We literally were just handed a problem that could or could not selectively 50% chance of you possibly having a problem within now to X time. And that can go and also alter genetically. it's also going. I still need to get that exact the quoting from it, but you are no longer a human. You are now a modified modified something as far as the U.S. government's concerned, which is fucking concerning.
Yeah, it may be, but I mean, I don't think that it was put out to kill everybody. Like, I don't think that it was. I think it was just rushed, and it was greed, and it was made
by Bill Gates.
Well,
it was literally walked to the CIA in a fucking PowerPoint saying, "Here you go. Let's go and serve the world." Fucking flight attendant style. Your exits are here. Like, come on, bro. There's no fucking shot. He's on record for literally telling people. That's already leaked, right? That's already public knowledge. Right. So, I mean, Bill Gates literally fucking handed this in a literal
at Johns Hopkins. Where was it? The
TED Talk?
What the hell? No, not a TED Talk. It was like a whole scenario, like maybe 6 months to a year before the pandemic happened, about what they would do if there was a pandemic.
Yeah, but back in 2010 or 2008, there's a leaked video allegedly of Bill Gates going and doing a presentation in front of the CIA, which basically was him breaking down step by step the entire fucking thing.
I think some of that's been. I'm not sure how legit that particular video is, because I know the one that you're talking about.
The one where it looks like they're in an underground bunker.
There's enough real data on him and his foundation.
Then it runs a trend. It does.
In Africa, and you know when
you gotta start
about
questioning.
When he talked about people philanthropy, he's got the Gates Foundation. They do good. Well, they make a hell of a return too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. They also own like all.
Yeah, they own
all. Don't they own 13% of the water rights or something in the U.S.?
Farmland. They own They own all the farmland that
the water reserves or something.
They do.
I haven't been up this early to get McDonald's breakfast.
Allegedly, they own all that farmland.
I used to watch Fantasia a lot. One thing, just click.
There's that one video of him. I could probably find it right now, when he's talking about jabbing kids, and he's like, "Yeah, and we just stick them, we put it right into their veins." All creepy and shit.
Yeah, I think that there's honestly just a lot of bullshit aimed at kids right now, and I'm ready to talk about that. We have a weird ass president. We have a weird ass dude saying, "Oh, we're just gonna jab their." Hey, dude, how about you back the fuck up and not touch my fucking kid with that shit before I break you? I don't understand for one moment where anybody. And here's my argument was earlier. When you said you don't know what the person is being told or whatever, I don't give a fuck what I'm being told. Look, bro, I'm 30. I'm literally 30, and I'm not the most. I am not the sharpest tool in the shed. However, I got enough common sense and a cell phone enough to literally get on the internet and do the work that our fucking senators should be doing with our tax dollars, and they're not doing that. And the sad part is that whether or not you want to look at it as real information or however you feel about TikTok, there's a lot more information and a lot more narratives coming through TikTok, Instagram, a lot of different avenues now, that it seems like you're trying to suppress something and go and say, "Hey, there's a big old fucking bill. We're going to go and fondle you 14 ways to Sunday on about 300-400 things in here. But you know what? Fuck your TikTok. Fine. We won't ban it at the end of the day. And the Chinese win, whatever. Peace. I don't care if we're gonna just walk by it. But
the answer's simple, and they'll never talk about the answer. Needs to start at home. They need to. Instead, they're pushing the complete opposite. Now, I'm not saying that every kid has to have a 2-parent home. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I'm divorced.
I didn't. Yeah.
But no, neither did I. But he still has 2 parents that love him, and he still has parents to take responsibility. And I think if
you don't even need parents at this point.
No, but you do. You do. I think more than ever you do.
Well, fair, but I'm saying you can be you can absolutely be raised by the village or the I was raised by wolves, is what my parents always told me.
Yeah,
so
but
I was raised by several.
Nowadays, people like that, at least then, you know, when a couple however fucking long ago, when you were raised by a village, that village was in person. That village was around, and now that village can be any online group that somebody happens to identify with or find some kind of, and that could be the best thing in the world, or it could be the worst thing in the world.
Wait. Am I to believe that you are not a he/him?
I am, and it's not even anything like that. It could just be. It's just kids looking for acceptance and guidance and stuff, and you know, like a lot of kids.
People need to start
mental figures, unfortunately, and
That's
it's
very
not
true.
all because parents are deadbeats. There's a million different reasons. There are situations where one parent keeps the kid from the other one for asshole reasons, and that weighs on the kid. There are situations where the parents just work too much to give the kid other things in life, but at the same time aren't giving so
100%. It's definitely a
you have that easy outlet that didn't exist when I was a kid. You know, like you can look to the internet to find something that's gonna make you feel whatever, and it's like I said, it could be a good thing, and I'm sure probably a lot more people benefit from it, but it's if you're a parent, and even if you can't be on your kids all the time, you know what I mean, monitoring what they do.
I think people need to start hitting their kids.
Well, I think they need to look for the sign. All these.
That's coming from somebody that's never put his hands on his child. I think people need to start hitting their children.
I think they just need to be aware. They need to talk to their kids. Like that's one thing. Like I talk
that
to Nikki
too.
every
Open communication.
He's only 8
Fair
years
play.
old, so
fair play.
I hope that it continues. I know it'll get harder as he gets older, but that's the number one thing is communication. No, you look at these school shooters, you look at people like that. The writing was on the wall, and I'm sure in a lot of the situations, the parents probably feel guilty that they never recognized it, because any parent, and I could speak for this, well, maybe not any parent, but I'll say myself, sure, I've been guilty of that, at least for a minute, thinking like, oh, my kid wouldn't do that. Like you sometimes have to decide,
I mean, just when I think of what's the common denominator that can go and fuck with, I've just noticed that if you go and start from like 1900s, early 1910s, and you go throughout like the last 120 years, 130 years, and you start watching the way that prescription drugs and antidepressants and psychoactive drugs and chemical imbalancing or balancing drugs, that lithium and Zoloft and all these types of things that are going, and instead of the parent in this, like you said, communicating and being there and attentive to the kid, whether it's business or whatever it is, that falls by the wayside, which then puts the kid on medication because the school doesn't want to deal with it because the school's dog shit. And then the school ends up going and telling that kid he's a problem. Bless you. I can definitely go and all I see right now is that our generation, or I guess your generation, I was trying to group you in with a younger crowd. You know, you do look nice. You do look nice on the little younger side on average, but in reality, like if you go and look at your time or upbringing, it's much different than mine. But you can definitely see the amount of psychoactive, not psychoactive, excuse me, mood stabilizing and antidepressant fucking medications to like just even you out, or ADD, and always told you have a problem. If you continue to go and get those medications out, could you essentially go and have a part of society that literally has never gone without a medication, and you have everybody on something? Because if you're basically trying to tell everybody that they're fucking broken, everybody thinks that they're broken instead of picking their fucking ass up and moving along and dealing and coping with life and letting life shape you, not you shape this fucking cinematic lounge around you. Like I realize I don't think that your life should be
See, I don't know.
easy.
I think there's probably a lot of people that benefit greatly from them. A lot of people that are misprescribed them, maybe, or maybe don't.
Well, I'm talking
try
about kids. I'm talking about kids. I'm not talking about older adults. I'm talking about just whether it's parents or misdiagnosis.
Even that, when you don't try other natural things first and go right to that with a kid, I'm sure that happens. And I don't know, maybe that was happening when I was a kid and it just wasn't talked about. Like, I didn't really know kids. I didn't know ADD was a thing or anything like that when I was a kid, or like anybody that had it or was on anything. And if they did, we didn't talk about it. I didn't know about it. So that's not to say they weren't, but it wasn't. It definitely became more common after my generation. It became more diagnosed, I would say, or treated, at least. Maybe not diagnosed, but I couldn't really tell you. But somewhere along the line, and I don't know if it was just in that individual thing or just in the profitability and ease of prescribing pills, and again tying into what we've been talking about with the corporatization. You get
I think it's laziness.
Kid. Well, I hate to say it like this, and this isn't my view, but you get a kid hooked on pills, you've got a customer
for life.
You know,
that's a very good point.
And I'm not saying that the doctor or it's a systemic thing. And like, again, it ties back to, where do you point the finger? Who's, just like the people that work on vaccines and stuff. I'm sure that there's some brilliant doctors and stuff that are working on these things that have nothing but the best intentions.
Right. They get lumped into the bullshit. Hey, real quick, I need to stop you real quick. I am getting a report from the Treasury that Janet Yellen said that the United States could run out of cash by June 1st.
Let's go.
That is as of an hour ago.
Time to switch to the DigiDollar, son. They're going to launch it with a Pokemon Go, friggin'.
If Congress does not raise or suspend the debt limit, putting pressure on Biden, and yeah, of course they will, because the stock market's going to run.
That's true too. ADD was solved by threatening to paddle your ass in the hallway in front of your friends. Yeah,
fuck yeah,
only up until second grade were they allowed to hit me.
Then bro, listen. I didn't even get the corporal punishment. I didn't even.
Grade school.
I didn't even get the corporal punishment. I got the look from pops that, like, hey, I will put you through that fucking wall if you don't stop. You know what I mean? Like, that was it.
I got the spoon from my mom. I didn't have a pops.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wood spoon from my mom.
Hell yeah, and that bitch cracked too. That thing hurts, man. It's usually the medium sized one that's just just perfect
Oh
sized.
yeah,
It's
and
bad.
you gotta know, like, she knew how to use it. Like, as a
Oh, yeah.
youngster, I would get it on my knuckles, when I wasn't looking, and then when I got older,
Oh, I
catch
mean,
it across
yeah. Your
once in a
mother
while.
probably had to slide you a few Mayweathers
All
every once in a time. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. She
you
clocked me
deserved
one
it.
time.
Yeah, you
Oh
deserved
yeah,
it too. 100%.
I
I
do.
could feel that.
I do.
No,
I took it.
I think that people don't go and give enough credit to the people like you who genuinely spend time with their kids. Like I'll be honest, like I try to spend every moment that I get with Enzo. You spend even more time with Nikki, like not like it's your homie, like it's you and me. Like you hang out with your son as if it is a communication friendship, but hey, don't fucking play with me type of hierarchy, where it's not friends, where you're not trying to be his buddy, but hey, I am your buddy. What's like, yo, you want to play some games, do whatever. But uh people don't go and celebrate that enough, and people don't go and show that enough love, because or even the single mom, like shout out to your mom and mine as well, the single moms that were just basically like, all right, fuck it, I don't need anybody to raise a kid. That I know how to I know how to like smack ass and take names, you know what I mean? So I think it's a cop out. I think people are lazy. I think people are getting to the point where they would rather have AI do it, or they'd rather have some machine do it. And I understand the purpose of, like, obviously making things more state of the art and that kind of shit. But if we're talking about the fact that, like, what was the other day? Somebody told me that they had a $44 Uber Eats thing to go to 3 different places for them that were a total of 5 miles away from their home at 6 p.m. at night. It blows my mind how lazy some people are, like, and how companies are profiting from it is incredible to me, which also goes and brings me to another point. Uber and Lyft went decent today, and Ride, did you see what happened to Ride today?
No, but I think Uber and Lyft, as leases expire, give it another 6 months, 8 months, maybe a year. As leases expire and people don't want to pay those ridiculous interest rates on a new car, I could see a lot more people going to Uber or public transportation, that type of shit. And Uber pretty much is public transportation now, I don't know. I know there's subways and all that shit. I'm just not used to it. We ain't got none of that crap around here.
Yeah, that's odd. I don't know what's gonna happen with
They're gonna ask Powell. That's exactly what's gonna happen, Sabrina. As they're gonna ask Powell about the debt ceiling, he's gonna say that's fiscal. Blah 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 blah. I just don't know what he could say to really tank the market. I'm sure there's something. If there's a will, there's a way, and he'll find that way. But I don't know what direction they could go in. And then you got Apple's earnings the next day after the announcement.
He could honestly go up there and shit his pants. I don't think it goes and affects the market.
Well, you got to think everything's priced in at this point. Everything's built up, priced in for it to stop and then cool off and then see what happens. See how all these hikes actually play out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Dad told you in the 6th grade, I'm not your friend. Being your friend is not my job. That's true. You gotta. I think.
With a straight right
there.
hand behind it.
I think you can be both. I think you can. I think there's a time and a place.
You
but
found a great balance.
You have to be a dad first and foremost, no doubt about it.
You have to be yeah, I agree. But I think that you do find a good balance of being as close to a friend that a kid can get.
One good thing, speaking of all the bad shit that came out of this pandemic and everything, I think that was one thing I benefited was definitely my relationship with him. You know, obviously he couldn't do the things that he would have been doing at 6 years old, playing shit like that, you know, because of whatever. So me and him became a lot tighter, and
I mean that's definitely that's
I mean, I had to homeschool for damn near a year, you know, so. And after like a week of putting on a fake mustache and shit, that got old quick. I'm like, listen, I know you're not falling for this, so why am I still doing it?
Wait, what now? What's the fake mustache for?
Because I would dress up as a teacher on the days I had to homeschool.
Oh, that's dope. No, fuck that.
I'll put like a suit and tie on. I had like these glasses. I had like those glasses with the bushy eyebrows and shit.
No,
that's awesome. That's good stuff. I figured that's what he meant. I figured that was just the old school way of saying it, but I figured definitely it didn't mean that that you guys weren't having a great time. But yeah, I like that though. My job is to make sure you are a fully functioning member of society first and foremost. Yep, and that that's the hard part. That's the hard part because as a parent, if you start looking at it as a friendship type relationship, you overlook that stuff that you really can't. You know, that stuff that like, yeah, I don't really want to be a dick and say anything to him. But at the same time, if I'm not a dick to him now, it's going to be twice as bad somewhere in the real world where he doesn't, where he does whatever I should be telling him not to do or whatever.
Yep. Somebody's not going to treat your kid like you would.
That's the hardest lesson, I guess, as a parent. Man, once you accept that you can't protect them from the world, you have to look at it like, well, I can't protect them, but I could prepare them. I could prepare them and I could protect them as most,
That's what I think. That's what I think. I was talking to Katie about this the other day. I said something along the lines of like, that's how you know the type of person that you've become. You look down at your kid at some point and you go, did I fuck it up, or like, is my kid a pretty decent person? And even if you are the biggest pile of shit, if your kid came out right and you did enough to get a decent kid, some kids, hey, have to fight a hell of a lot more than the others through a lot more than other kids, but there's always different trials and tribulations regardless. But I think your kid is a spitting image of you and your parenting and who you are as a person. But it is definitely interesting to see yourself change as you go through that. Speaking of, shout out to Saucy Fredo with the new baby coming here shortly, I believe.
Yeah, should be pretty soon.
Somebody throw Saucy Fredo some love. Tell him we're looking for him. Also, I'm thinking about possibly having we're going to get some fantasy football running here because I believe the draft was this weekend and Caesar wants some more of the champion,
Okay.
Because I had to walk it off. You know what I mean? Like I had to go absolute yard on it. Like my name's Aaron Judge out here. I'm literally out here touching tips all day, aired day, twice on Sunday. Girth Brooks, thoughts? Hashtag slots all.
Yeah.
Sammy Sosa's, Mark McGuire's and shit. Speaking of, yeah, I want to get the fantasy going and stuff like that. I think I have narrowed down a couple of the designs and shit like that for the apparel and stuff like that. So hopefully we can go and get some of those things tacked down and stuff like that. But I really like doing these Monday night recap kind of shit. I don't really know what to tell people about the market right this second, other than I'm sore.
Well, tomorrow we're probably at another market holds its breath type moment, I would think. I'm gonna go to the window for a minute here before we wrap this up. Have a cheers.
Yes, sir. No, I think that there's definitely a good argument for all kinds of fuckery tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, you have Powell at what? Excuse me, not Powell. FOMC on Friday. Excuse me, not Friday. Wednesday.
Yeah, so it starts tomorrow. It's a 2-day meeting. We'll get the interest rate announcement Wednesday at 2:00, and then we'll get Powell talking at 2:30.
Beautiful.
Then Apple earnings Thursday, then AMC earnings Friday morning.
Well, I mean, I'm torqued up.
Yeah, I haven't really looked, if I'm being completely honest, since it's after 10:30, about what's going on with the lawsuit and the split and all that shit with AMC. I would expect us to get some kind of announcement on that at the earnings, if there hasn't already been one. If there's one that I haven't seen, let me know if anyone knows.
I would assume that we fucking slide 50% and then skyrocket for a probably hot 13. Like a hot 13%, not dollars. Like go down 50 and back up 13%.
On AMC you're talking about?
Yeah, something stupid. Like, I think that there's absolutely no fucking way, after having Mario and all the good movies that have come out and have just tapped ass at the box office, right? And then you still get shit on. What I'm curious to see is how the Visa AMC card, how many users, Visa partnered with AMC and shit to give them their new credit card and stuff like that. So I would be curious to see the numbers on that. And I don't know. I don't want anybody to get their hopes up and get smacked. I would really like to know what the hell's going on with BAOS.
Good. I think the numbers will probably be good. I think the slate of movies that we've seen that have been rolling out is good. I don't think who was it that said they were putting $1 billion? Was it $1 or $2 billion into movies to get in the theaters? Maybe Amazon.
Well, I think it's funny that Bitcoin's gonna end up at like 26.5, 24.5, something like that by the end of the week, I'm assuming. Bitcoin went all the way down to 50, dropped down into 48.5 today. Like coin shit the bed from $6, about $6-7. Everything went pretty much dead ass even after hours, but the UVXYs did gain 2%. BBIG up 7. Nothing too out of pocket that I can see right now. Top options. There were 7.24 million options on the SPY today. There were total position was 17 million. Ugh. Volume. Yeah, I love that the entire heat map on industries is green. And we had more decliners than advancers by far. Dividends, earnings. Yeah, TGT X was moving today. Chegg, CHGG was another one I saw earlier. And HLG, NC, what the hell was that one today earlier? SG, no. It was SNGH or something like that. I don't remember. I'll have to get that. NNOX, I think, was that nano shit that ran today. But NVIDIA was the one that really impressed me today. 290 today. Ooh. I thought it was going to get 281. GNS also got almost 4% after hours. GNS ran from 83 cents all the way to about 132, settled into the 109 after hours. Still no word on First Republic.
You know, First Republic, Silicon Valley, and Signature were the second, third, and fourth biggest bank failures in American history.
Well, yeah, because they got pumped full of capital.
Pretty much.
Because, I mean, how the hell do you get all the stimulus money out of the market without basically taking it from people?
Yeah. I mean, even when you look at it on an inflation-adjusted basis, I'm looking at it right here, like, they're still head and shoulders, like, above a lot of, I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I did ask ChatGPT earlier.
Oh, did you?
I asked what would happen if the 14th and 15th largest banks in the U.S. Collapsed. I didn't have anything good to say. Although it wouldn't be as devastating as if it was one of the 5 major banks. They said it would still be pretty bad. And now you got to think that it's basing that answer on what, 2021 it goes up to, right? Or 2019 or some shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know what time frame it's basing that on, or
I found
the end of it. I was looking at Chinese banks. So if you look at the biggest global banks, the Chinese dominate. They've got some huge banks over there, but that's what I think we're gonna see happen over here. And if you look, I'll actually show it real quick at the now these numbers. I guess you could look at them different ways. I mean, as far as physical banks, I guess you need far less, but you look at the decline, and I mean, this goes back to the 80s when it peaked with banks, but you're not seeing any new banks opening, new charters, 14 banks last year.
Yeah.
Just keeps going down. So it was 8,200 banks in 2000, and we're already half of that.
I just found a really cool visual. Let me see if I can put this.
And you got to think that some of these big banks probably want a lot of this bullshit to keep going on, want these other, you know what I mean? Like I said, look at what JP Morgan was able to buy. I mean, we haven't seen the numbers yet, but just look at what the stock went down to. You know, say they're able to buy it all for $2. And I know there's a lot of probably toxic assets on there. But shit, you're getting a company that was valued at damn near $200 a share 2 months ago for basically pennies on the dollar.
Have you seen this?
No. Okay, we're almost up there. We're number 3.
We're fucking trying like hell.
65%. I like our odds.
Right.
I like our odds.
I like the fact that India is just like, fuck you guys. At this point, you know what? You guys wipe each other off the fucking planet. We're gonna chill.
Yeah. Indonesia too. There's not much of a chance over there.
Right. I just thought that this was a interesting illustration of like this was just when was this?
I wonder why Ukraine's not on there.
Right.
No.
Because they can't get it close enough to fucking India without being in the same center. Just happens to have 3 digits instead of none. I mean, you're looking at growth projections by region. How to avoid global. Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of really cool fucking, really cute things that the World Economic Forum likes to go and put really cute infographics and shit together to go and show you how fucked things are. You gotta love that.
I do.
I mean, I don't. I mean, I just think I think it's sad. But without further ado, my man, I appreciate you. I am going to go, I don't know, do what I do.
End it. Let me end it on one last clip.
Oh, good.
Just to set this off in style.
Naturally.
And this is just in honor of the banks, and never forget that Cramer did not call any of them right.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Is this the John Oliver thing?
This is just a little Cramer compilation, just a little.
Oh. Hell yeah.
Oh, hold on, my bad. Been a long day. Where'd it go?
just spoke with Jim Herbert. He's the CEO of First Republic. And I asked him, what are the outflows today? And he said, it's business as usual. Now, remember, I'm speaking to the CEO. That does not mean Jim Cramer says it's business as usual. It does not mean Jim Cramer says it's business as usual.
Now, few banks are like Silvergate, but some are indeed like SVB. I think SVB's been overly punished after today. But who cares?
It does not mean Jim Cramer says it's business as usual.
I think the fears were not justified, and it's a very compelling situation. Hey, by the way, long-term private equity and venture capital, they're not going away. Being the banker to these investors,
$320.
has always been a very good business. Stock's still cheap.
It does not mean Jim Cramer says it's business as usual.
Oh, by the way, subprime of the actual lending thing is completely
Macroeconomic
meaningless. I am now saying that if every loan in 2006 that was subprime blew up, $500 billion, if they all blew up,
Half a
it
trillion.
you would still not notice.
It does not mean Jim Cramer says it's business as usual.
Bear Stearns is do not take your money out. This is real. Look, if there's one takeaway other than a plus 400 somewhere, Bear Stearns is not in trouble. I mean, if anything, they're more likely to be taken over. Don't move your money from Bear. That's just being silly. Don't be silly.
It does not mean Jim Cramer says it's business as usual.
Nothing like batting 1,000.
Nothing like batting 1,000. Yeah. Good stuff.
Well, on that note, Chief, I appreciate you throwing this together. It's always been a pleasure. I will be up seeing you guys in the morning. I have a little thing right at 9. Should take about 10 minutes. I will be in there before and after. So we might be starting it a couple minutes early or something like that tomorrow. Maybe an 8:30 joint.
Yeah, hit me up in the morning.
Yes, sir. I will do that. Tell Nikki we said hello. Nunya, Girth, Sabrina, Loki, Miss Jane Hammond, Streamlabs, Eat a Dick, The Bachelor. Always.
Bachelor, my man. Always appreciate you guys. And
Definitely.
We shall see y'all in the morning. Everybody
Yes, sir.
enjoy the rest of your night. Love,
sir.
peace, and hair grease. Later.